from the shotgun. He'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. And the grab by Croft. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The punter wing is on as he sends this one away. First down, Greer, and his first look is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run with Thomas. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On the ground, it's Thomas. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
To throw on 2nd down. Greer. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. The second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Looking to throw on second down. Greer. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on third down following 2 negative plays. Back to throw. Greer. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now this time he'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Tech McKinley with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Brad Wing now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Returnable for Thomas. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Watch it now, Barney. Detroit.
Throwing on first down. Greer. Throw left side complete. That's George. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Watch it now, Barney.
This is Thomas. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That burst good for 20 and a first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
He's going to get it running right. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Off play action. Greer. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. A first throw for the backup, Ryan. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back on that counter play?
That's what you need for a good counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to air one out. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. A big play there. 44 yards. And the Bengals are in for 6. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And here now come the Falcons. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. first and 10. It's Ryan. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. On second down, here's Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Now Thomas. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on second and 10. Second and 10 now. Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at third and 10. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll punt it away for the second time. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
They'll set up a throw. To Mixon on the check down. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
A handoff to Mixon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And Bullock will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
On first down, Ryan. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. Ryan now just 3 of 6 throwing it, but that last completion gets a first down. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Looking downfield for Jones. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays?
And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 43 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Ryan on first down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's George. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun on third down, Ryan. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Myers able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level you hit them, they go through.
Gets past one man. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Leopard! Watch him now, Barney!
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Tech McKinley in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They're going to look to throw. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
He sets to fire deep, and this is caught. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And the lead is now 17-3. Bullock out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 on the field.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Bengals have recovered it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. Again, it's Mixon. Oh, a nice spin. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. The Bengals hoping Mixon improves on the numbers from his rookie year. He's back there again on first down.
Now, Barney!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. In for the score. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. That'll be taken in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Ryan. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. That one goes for 24 yards.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Hey,
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Ryan. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And this one is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Second down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed as that's going to move the chains.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And an alley to run. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one good for 12 yards. And they're going to face a third down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Now the Bengals on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a third and 2.
Green 39. Green 39. Check the backer.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mixon with a first down carry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Now let's go. 3:19. 3:19. Hot. Hey, they scared.
Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brad Wing now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the shotgun, Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. It's George. Now the ball comes loose, and the Bengals have recovered it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The Falcons on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Tuesday. 12.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. It's caught. Jones. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game.
Go.
Ryan now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Bengals, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the Miami Dolphins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.